dear beloveds. I am touching base with you all as we continue to live in an increasingly complex and difficult to understand world. Honestly, I don't think anything that we're experiencing now is new, but certainly the proliferation of events, one after the other, with no seeming break, is something that I don't think that we've experienced, certainly not in my lifetime. And it's heavy. It's a heavy thing being an awake and aware human right now. And I think that is when, for a lot of seekers, we go looking for meaning, because that's our whole point, right? We are here to understand. We are seeking the deeper meaning of life. And we've been told a lot of things about our seeking and our spirituality that are really not true and that have really disserved us. For example, things like the law of attraction have told us if we want it bad enough, then we just have to hold our attention upon it and we'll get it. But what this doesn't really help us understand is the ways in which we can be privileged to experience or inherit a certain kind of life that is actually not really anything to do with how good a spiritual person we are, and more to do with the privilege of where we've been born, or who's raised us, or how much money we've got. And these sorts of ideas, I think, can make spirituality seem like this kind of magic bullet, or this kind of cure-all that's going to take any difficult, challenging circumstances, and with enough intention, if you want it badly enough, you'll get it. I have never subscribed to that idea, and I am often left wondering why people show up to their spirituality when what they're really seeking is comfort, what they're really seeking is money, what they're really seeking is, power and success in the 3D local reality. I'm not critical of any of those things. I am deeply grateful that I am not in survival mode. I don't have to worry about how to feed my children or how to home them. But when we're taught that the highest value of our spirituality is to get our ego's needs met, then we really have missed the point. And when things like what we're seeing in the world now occur, we see that most of us who've been on the spiritual path are on shaky ground, because our faith has been based on a kind of reward system or karmic points idea that if we're really, really good and spiritual, God will keep rewarding us with things that our ego wants. So we see the world as it is now, and we think, well, surely my spirituality has failed. That's not the case. Your spirituality was never about getting your ego's needs met. When we're taught things like the law of attraction, we should be taught them from the highest possible understanding, which for me is the law of vibration, one of the 3 immutable laws that govern the cosmos. Because what we understand there is the purpose of our life is to awaken to the truth of what we are, which is infinite, unlimited consciousness. And the events of our life are designed to get us to that highest purpose most expediently. Very rarely is that going to be the path of all the Ferraris and the hot partners and the tiny body and all these things that are held up as indicators of success by spiritual leaders. The fact that you can manifest things in the dream doesn't actually mean that you're doing the deep work of a deep faith. And I guess I'm a little bit curious about how many of the spiritual seekers around me who have gone into fear, who have gone into a lot of doubt, and that's okay. It's okay to be afraid right now. The world is scary and full of events that are really giving us an opportunity to figure out what's true for us. What I know to be true for me is that I never doubt God. That's not my task, to question the way God is showing up. God you can think of as higher consciousness or spirit, whatever it is for you. But for me, it is the sense of that thing, that energy, that overarching inherent interconnectedness of all consciousness that is guiding all of us home has not failed, cannot fail, will not fail. We have total free will in this dream called life. And the free will that we have is to choose our response to the world. My task right now is to remain faithful and to not doubt and to not look for the causes. And when I say that, I mean, I want to know the meaning. I want to know the meaning of all of this for us in our shared purpose of awakening to our infinite, unlimited selves. But I'm not looking for the cause. Who started it? Who's responsible? Who's going to finish it? Who did it right? Who did it wrong? Which government's working? Which isn't? I'm not interested in the backstory, because that is curiosity, and curiosity is only there to satisfy the ego. Even if I were to discover that all of this was the function of a reptilian overlord, what would it change? What can change and what does change for me when I look for the meaning is that I can answer that question that the great mystic Caroline Myss asks of, what will I do with my pain? It is uncomfortable as hell right now to be in the world. And for those of us who are in lockdown on the east coast of Australia or anywhere else in the world, for those who are seeing our partners and our children and our lives completely disenfranchised, that all the pleasure and joy that makes up being human is being reduced day by day. I cannot say that life feels comfortable, that life feels like a reward. But why should it? That isn't what I signed up for. That's not what any of us signed up for. Life is a journey of exploration to come home to ourselves. Ram Dass said, we are all walking each other home. So before you go looking to try to figure out who's responsible and who did all of this and what is it all, when's it all going to be resolved, to sit with the discomfort, and to sit with the question of, what will I do with this? What is the meaning of this for me? Because the meaning is the same for all of us. It is serving our awakening. And the only tool that I ever can offer, the only solution is devotion. And that's why I will be starting from next week, completely online, completely free, completely accessible from wherever you are. 5 days of devotion in the I Am Spiritually Fierce community. All the details will be in this newsletter. Devotion is the tool that takes me from facts and the dream and the chaos of this life to truth with a capital T, the one truth, which is love. I don't think that we have failed. I don't think it's possible for the collective human experience to fail. It's all an experiment. It's all an opportunity. And the opportunity right now is to, as it always is, regardless of external evidence, to see what we can do with our pain and how we can support ourselves to remember the truth of who we are. So the humblest response to anything, I think, is, I don't know. I don't know if anything's going to change anytime soon. I don't know why or how this will resolve. I don't know when I'll get to see my mum again. I don't know when my kids will go back to school. I don't know how many more school camps will be cancelled, or how many more women in Afghanistan will lose their lives or their opportunity for education and freedom. I don't know how many more natural disasters it will take for the governments of the world to unite in collective action against the climate emergency. I don't know. But I do know what I can do with my fear and my doubt, and that is to sit in my devotion, because I understand the true nature of the law of vibration is that I'm not going towards increasing my vibration to get my needs met, my ego's needs met. I'm going there to get my soul's needs met. And I'm not going there alone. I'm going there on behalf of the collective, because I can do what others cannot do for themselves because they don't know or because they're in fear. And every time I make a choice to sit with my fear, to meet it and to transmute it, I do that on behalf of all. And that is what I am capable of right now. That is what I can offer. So that's my discourse for today, dear ones. Thank you if you're listening, if you've listened all the way through. And let me know if there is any other way that I can support you. Last week or the week before, we shared the free download of Spiritually Fierce. This coming week, I invite you to come into the group I'm Spiritually Fierce with me and spend some time with me in devotion. It is now and always my privilege to be of service to you.